Hello, Kyle here, Lake Vermilion Houseboats, doing our orientation video for our Maki number 16 houseboat. Maki number 16 was built new in 2021, and then we're able to get all the trim work done during the spring of 2022. So completely new rebuild for us. Always start the orientation video here on the back deck. So this motor cover right here will flip up. And underneath that is our outboard. We always trim up our outboard and have the guests take pictures of the prop and lower unit during their stay or before they leave at the start of the orientation video. Next thing we go over with the guests is our generator. So on this houseboat, there's a wide array of generators that we put on this houseboat for various different reasons. But basically, the cord that comes out of the houseboat underneath here, so this black cord, needs to be stayed plugged into the generator. And that generator, while it's running, is what powers all the outlets inside the houseboat. So microwave, coffee maker, TV, cell phones, basically anything that you have plugging into an outlet, the generator has to run to power those outlets. And also while the generator is running, it's running our battery charger for our deep cycle batteries. And our deep cycle batteries, they power the overhead lights, your water pressure pump, and then the thermostat on the fridges. So we always tell our guests to run the generator a minimum of 3 hours a day continuously. And in doing so, that'll keep your deep cycle batteries charged up so that basically you have working lights, running water, and a working refrigerator. So very important, 3 hours a day continuously run the generator to keep your deep cycle batteries charged up. You can run it longer, that's just our minimum. On the back deck here as well, as we have usually comes with a jug or two of gas. This is for the generator, so that you have enough gas to power your generator during your stay. And then underneath this box right here is our propane tanks. Basically, I can slide this over. So our propane, basically our oven and stove run off the propane. The condensers for the fridge run off propane. But our main use for the propane is heaters for this boat during our spring and fall seasons when you may be needing to use your heaters. So if you are using your heaters during your stay, you do need to keep tabs of your propane tanks. That's your responsibility. We will bring out more during your service runs. We don't want you running out of heat if you're needing it. So, but again, running your heaters, keep tabs on your propane tanks. If you're not running your heaters, you don't need to worry about them during your stay. We'll walk inside the cabin here. On the back of the cabin here is a heater. So we have two heaters. There's one in the back here of the houseboat. There's also one in the galley. They're both the exact same heaters. I will go over how to operate and start the heater in the galley. Back here in the houseboat, we do have a kind of a AC switch here in the back. So basically we want to make sure that we keep all of these switches on. These are for the outlets for the different parts of the houseboat. Again, make sure that all these stay on, and that'll make sure that when you're running the generator, that all the outlets have power. So next thing we go over here is we always test the smoke alarm and the carbon monoxide alarm for our guests during the orientation video to make sure that you have operating smoke and carbon monoxide detectors during your stay. We'll kind of keep walking through the cabin here. So we also like to show the guests the toilets on our houseboats. All of our toilets are a little bit different, so we like to show the guests how to operate these. But on the Maki number 16, basic operation of your toilet is there's a lever over here. Basically, whether you're taking a number 1 or number 2, you just open the lever, the water comes in and washes either solids or liquids down to the septic holding tank. So again, this toilet does not hold any water in the basin. It just simply flushes down. Underneath the bathroom sink, we have some different supplies here. Usually there's some toilet paper. Down here are some drop-in tabs for kind of deodorizers for the septic holding tank if your septic starts to stink. We also have a first aid kit and different stuff like that. So, here again, more switches here. These are more for kind of 12-volt switches, but basically it's very simple. Water heater, cabin lights, refrigerator. So these all need to stay on. So for your water heater to run, cabin lights to work, and for your refrigerator, everything needs to be in the on position. If you look behind us over here, we have a This is your microwave and coffee maker. Again, anytime you're using an there's an electrical device where you're plugging it into an outlet, generator has to run. That's what powers the outlets. Over here we have our smart TV. Again, generator needs to run. Your smart TV, basically how you work these is you use your phone as a wireless hotspot, and then you connect the TV to your phone wireless hotspot. Then you're able to stream any sporting events or Netflix or any other streaming services that you have during your stay, if you choose to. Refrigerators here. Basically, what we tell everybody with refrigerators is as long as you're not getting an error message along the display here, everything is working the way it should be. If I press this in and hold it, that setting is 7. So we always have, So this is your setting for your refrigerator. Low would be the lowest setting and 9 being the coldest setting. So we always have them set at the 9 setting because we want them to be really cold during your stay. Inside there is a thermometer inside the refrigerator. So what we like to tell our guests is typically we've had this happen where the guests come, they're here for the start of their stay, they have a lot of food, they really put a lot of food in the refrigerator. So you need to be careful with that because this fridge, they just need time to kind of acclimate when you're putting stuff in them. So we highly suggest that you don't overload them. You can put some stuff in their fridge, but you just need to keep tabs of your temperature on your thermometer in there to make sure they're staying cold. If it doesn't feel like it's cooling well enough for you, you need to pull some stuff out, put it in coolers. Usually by the morning after your first night, the fridges have caught up and have acclimated. But again, do not overload the fridges. Keep an eye on your thermostat to make sure that everything stays cool. Don't have any issues spoiling food. Here on top of part of the fridge is kind of our informational sheet here for our fleet. Top one kind of goes over our supply run. The next one down is for any mechanical or emergencies on the lake, how to handle that. Also some other useful information. And then also we have a houseboat inventory, basically kitchen, dishware, different stuff on the houseboat that comes with your houseboat. So if you think you're missing something, look here first, make sure that we have it, and then look around for it. And then also we have a binder here on the kitchen table. Has different stuff in here, kind of introduction, some food and activities on the lake, and also information on our mooring sites inside the binder that's on the kitchen table. Typically over here, we supply some fresh water for you, so gallon jugs of fresh water. So we go over this, but all of your faucets on your houseboat, so kitchen faucet, bathroom shower, are all lake water. Do not drink that water, okay? So we supply plenty of fresh water for your cooking and drinking needs. If you think you need more before you leave the dock, just ask us. We'll grab you more, and then we can also bring more out during our service runs if you need more water. So again, lake water for the faucets. Do not drink that. As we move forward here, here's our heater again. I can go over how to operate this. You want to basically hold the black button in, and then this red button is your striker button. It's hard to see, but there's a pilot light right here in the bottom coming out of the white thing there. So you want to hold that in for 10 to 30 seconds. Depends on if you're using your heaters a lot or not. If you use them during your stay, they light really quick. If you haven't used them for we haven't used these heaters in quite a while, and kind of end of our summer season here. But to hold it in, you may see a little flare up on the mat here, and that's kind of when I know it's lit. But basically, wait for a little kind of a light flare up on the mat. After you see that, you release the button. The thing with these heaters is once you release the button, the pilot light does go out because it does not have a standing pilot. So release the button, turn the switch to low, be your low setting, medium be your medium setting, and high be your high setting. You can hear a faint hiss from this heater if it's quiet enough, and that's kind of a telltale that it's working. Also, if you just hold your hand up to it right down here, and if you're feeling heat coming off, you know the heater is lit. Just make sure before you walk away from the heater that it's lit, okay? That you make sure that's on if you want it on. So, and then when you want to turn it off, just turn it back to the off position. Okay. And then walking up the stairs here is up to our upper penthouse. So then we'll go over here on the switches here. So basically we have our main power. Again, you want to keep that on. GPS powers our GPS. Water pressure powers our water pressure. When you're cruising on the lake, keep that off, all right? So we don't want you running the water while you're cruising on the lake, because in doing so, you can deprime your water lines and burn up the water pump. So as you're cruising on the lake, keep the water pressure switch off. If you're on the lake and need to use the restroom or something, just come down to idle speed. Then during idle speed, now you can turn it back on. Typically just using the restroom, washing your hands, and then again, turn it back off when you're ready to get up to cruising speed again. Then once you get to your mooring site, you can leave it in the on position. But again, the water pressure runs your water pump. Then we'll come up here and look at the GPS. So shifter here is very simple. Just basically start the unit, turnkey start. You would simply turn the unit on, or sorry, start the outboard, and then from here you're just using your shifter. Basically neutral is straight up, so forward, then your throttle, back to neutral, reverse, and then throttle reverse. So again, as you're giving it throttle, just watch your GPS or watch your tack. That's when you know that you're actually giving it throttle. It is very hard to hear the outboard from inside the cabin here. So as you're advancing your throttle, just watch your tack, and when the needle rises, that's when you know you're actually giving the outboard throttle. So here, the Humminbird GPS and the map. We do have a separate orientation video with our Humminbird GPS and map for navigating the lake and finding the mooring sites. That is very helpful. So if you are watching these videos, please watch on our YouTube channel, watch the orientation video on the Humminbird GPS for navigation and mooring. As we walk out here to the front deck. Front deck of the houseboat here. So up here in the dock box up here, we have our life jackets for the houseboats. All of our houseboats have mooring ropes on each the port and starboard side. We do have a separate YouTube video for our houseboat mooring that definitely watch that. It's very, very helpful. Have our charcoal grill here on the front deck. And then here out on the front grate, we have our plank. And again, we cover the plank and the mooring ropes and how to moor the houseboat in a separate orientation video. Again, please check that out. So that concludes our orientation video of our Maki number 16 houseboat. Thank you.